breeze is always a pleasant one.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Nice weather for September, eh, Francis?
I'm afraid the weather isn't very significant, Captain. The enemy fleet in the harbor, ready to shell Baltimore.
Oh, come now, Francis. Aren't you crossing bridges?
Of course you are. There's Fort McHenry.
It seems that our government has shown little or no determination to fight. They've allowed the British to burn the White House, sack the Capitol, and lay their fleet offshore with guns ready.
I'm afraid your husband is becoming something of...
Well, I do wish he wouldn't air his views like...
Our only protection against that fleet is Fort McHenry. And I respect a nation that doesn't even bother to fight.
That's strong talk for a man out in uniform.
As for that, sir, I've been refused a commission. The President argues that I'm more important than as a man with a gun. I don't agree with him.
I fear you must excuse me, Mrs. Key. Evening.
I'm sorry.
Evening.
Mrs. Key, our present emergency makes it necessary
I quite understand, Captain Montrose. And I am sorry.
Good evening.
Good evening, Captain. I'm sorry if I've offended you.
Good evening. Martha.
Good evening, Mrs. Key. Good evening, dear.
Don't you mind them, Francis. Stick to your guns. On with the party. I suggest that Mary Key sing for...
By all means, a song from Mary Key.
I second the motion. A song by Mrs. Key.
I'll ask her, of course.
I think she went in the garden.
I'll call her. Well, there you are, Mary. Those who are left are asking for you. They want you to sing.
I don't understand you, Francis.
Please, Mary, not now. Let's not quarrel.
I want to be proud of you. I want people to envy you. But instead,
Yes?
how can I be proud of you when you rail so against your own country?
I allow you your opinion. You must allow me mine.
But now, of all times, when the nation so needs men who are loyal.
I'm afraid you don't understand, Mary. I love my country as much as any man.
You couldn't say the things you do. I find myself losing all respect for you. Consequently, for myself.
You don't mean that.
I thought you were strong, right, and so sure. And now I realize the man I loved was a changeling.
And so you're turning away from me? Like the others?
What else is there?
Have you forgotten? We're waiting for your song, Mary.
My song?
An evening at the Keys wouldn't be complete without a song from you, Mary.
You're most flattering, John.
Two hearts were light as summer's breeze, that starry night of memory, when we found our love, my darling. It was not so long ago. Perhaps someday again I'll say I love you now as yesterday, though it seems like years, my darling. It was not so long ago.
I'm sorry. I'll go up and look after her. Don't you bother.
Thank you, Mrs. Cowan.
Times like these, everyone is on edge. Nerves, nerves.
It's best we call it an evening. Good night. Come, Ethel.
Yes, it is getting late. Thank you, Mr. Key, for a very pleasant evening. I trust Mrs. Key will be feeling better.
Thank you. I'm sure she'll be all right. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Key.
Good night, Mr. Key. Please convey my regards to Mrs. Key.
Thank you, John,
For what?
for waiting. You knew I'd want to talk to you.
Between old friends, there's that understanding. You don't have to talk unless you want to.
Captain Montrose, said this was one of the most beautiful homes he'd ever seen. And now...
You find it empty.
Am I so wrong in my views, John?
I don't know. It's so easy to condemn. Perhaps we do face defeat. But until defeat comes, there's always hope.
I wish I could share your optimism.
My father was at Valley Forge. They thought that was the end, too, but it wasn't. History oftentimes repeats itself. When a man is needed to solve a problem, that man is found.
What we need is someone or something to make us feel as one nation, one body.
And that something can't be everlasting defeat.
No. We're a sorry lot. A nation without a capital. A republic without a president.
West, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Your pardon for calling at this hour, Mr. Key, but it's urgent. I'm Richard West. I've come all the way from Woodyard.
This is Colonel Skinner, Mr. West.
Good evening, sir.
Dr. William Beams has been arrested by the enemy and taken aboard the British flagship Surprise.
When? How did it happen?
It was in retaliation for his having caused the arrest of disorderly stragglers from the British Army. His friends have asked me to implore you to intercede with our government for his release.
Of course, we'll go immediately. Colonel Skinner is the government agent for the exchange of prisoners at Baltimore.
We'll be very grateful, gentlemen. I have a coach outside.
Come along, John. We must lose no time.
I'm ready. Get your cloak. Mary, I'm taking Francis with me to the British flagship to arrange the release of Dr. Beams.
Yes, I heard. Will you give him this letter when you reach the vessel?
Mary, it's not.
I have no choice. You do the same.
Do you realize what this means?
There's nothing left.
I must tell Mary.
I've told her. Francis, you may find your answer out there.
Out there? But how?
I don't know. It's my policy to go into the heart of trouble to find my way out. And that's a soldier's method.
I hope you're right, John.
Come, Francis.
In appreciation of the medical care and aid rendered our soldiers by Dr. Beams during the Crown's occupancy of his Marlborough home, I am releasing Dr. William Beams into your custody.
We thank you, Admiral.
Thank you. I cannot, however, permit you to go ashore until after the battle.
Battle?
Surely you don't think we're standing off Fort McHenry with our entire fleet for our pleasure? You three gentlemen will be returned to your ship under guard, there to remain until the inevitable surrender of Fort McHenry. You may enjoy another sample of Yankee stamina. Take them over the side and back to their vessel.
Attention!
Captain Smythe, man the guns and prepare to fire.
Aye, sir. Aye, sir.
Clear the decks for action! Man the guns! All guns to the port side! Bring that halyard! It's a baby! More water for guns on the quarterdeck! Order!
That doesn't look like they've evacuated Fort McHenry.
Please continue to short.
Aye, sir. It's a Dixon. A heavy charge in all pieces for the next round.
Cochrane is getting a little more Yankee stamina than he bargained for.
No fort can hold out against this bombardment. It's massacre.
I'm afraid not. The fort will likely give up before dawn.
Don't forget, Doctor, Americans have a pretty store of determination when they're called upon to show it.
Will our flag still be flying over the fort at sunrise?
It's too dark to see.
Let us pray that it is. Our country needs the picture of the morning sun on a flag that won't bow to the enemy.
say, dawn's early light. The flag is still there. The Star-Spangled Banner. Our people, they must know of this. They must never forget this moment. I want to tell them. Have you anything I could write upon? Yes. I have a letter. It's for you. Let me have it. I'll write on the back of it. A song. A song that must mean to everyone what the sight of that flag means to us. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets, red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Francis.
Hello, John. What's this?
The poem you wrote. After you opened your letter, I took the envelope and showed it to Judge Nicholson at the fort. He rushed it to the office of the Baltimore American. Publication had stopped. All the men were fighting. About something we needed to make us feel as one nation. It comes but once in a man's life to be able to do that.
Yes. But
Francis.
Mary, you've come back.
Yes, dear. I heard the song you wrote.
Do you think I could have written that if I had no love for my country?
I've been so wrong, Francis, and I've hurt you. But out of that hurt has come this. Greater than any victory we might have won.
Mary.
Francis, they've come to the front lawn, hundreds of them. They want you to hear your song. Listen.
Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines on the stream. 'Tis the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, long may it wave land of the free. And the home of the brave.